My name is Ishita. I'm from Mumbai. I'm a second year student here at Krea. I studied at Dhirubhai Ambani International School. I'm now pursuing an environmental studies major and a psychology minor. I have one older sister and I have one younger sister who is my dog. And I think my parents love my dog the most out of all three of their children. I really miss her a lot being on campus, but it's nice. I think if you wanted to know one fun fact about me, my biggest skill is my ability to sleep literally anywhere at any time. So if you ask me like right now, like go to sleep and I can do it this second. I heard about Krea through a friend who was also applying, and it was actually very new at that time, so it's not a place that I've heard about a lot. But after how much she raved about it and how much she enjoyed the entire application process, I decided, okay, why not give it a shot? One of the reasons that I picked Krea ultimately was the fact that the admissions process was so engaging and it was unlike any other admissions process I'd ever seen before. So normally in any other college, maybe you have an essay, if at all, you have like a conversation or an interview, but that's about it. And Krea was the only place that had a group project and they had a case study and they had a place where you could interact not just with the people interviewing you or the panelists, but you were interacting with your own peers and friends. And that's something that's very integral to our entire learning system. It's important to how we learn and the way that classrooms are structured. And no other place had that. So I really enjoyed just going through the entire process. And after being at Krea, I've realized that that is the way classes are done. So it was literally a simulation of what class would be like outside. So I really enjoyed that. And touch wood, it's been a very smooth transition for me and it's been very nice. I expected it to be a lot worse because I have friends. So I took a gap year and then I joined college. So I have friends who had already started college, so they'd moved from in-person college to online when the pandemic hit, and they hated it. They hated online class. They thought they can't pay attention, they can't make friends, they can't talk to anyone. So I was actually expecting it to be quite bad. I didn't expect it to be so good, but it actually ended up being a lot smoother than expected. So even the transition from online college to coming to campus, I normally feel very homesick when I leave home. That's just the kind of person I am. And I always miss my family a lot. I always wish I was home, but I haven't felt that at all ever since I came here. And half the reason that I haven't felt that is because we started online. I already made my friends online. So I knew the kinds of people I would meet coming here. I knew who my close friends were. I had that feeling of comfort and that feeling of familiarity with people who I'd never met before, but I knew very well online. So I think it might just made it easier for us. The transition became a lot easier than it would be for any college student because we had an additional step in the way where you could get comfortable with the environment while being at home and then moving to that actual physical place. If I had spare time here, I would probably be in the dance room or I'd be reading a book. I'm waiting to try out the piano, so I would be doing one of these things, or I'd be at the gym. But I think outside of college, if you wanted to find me, I would be on a mountain. Any mountain that I could find. I love trekking, I love mountaineering, I love being in the outdoors. So I think that's the first place you would go. And you wouldn't find me because my phone would be switched off and I would have disappeared somewhere for a week. And that's just my most favorite thing to do. I think what took me by surprise the most was the idea of interwoven learning. I think throughout Krea, one of the major touch points is that learning is interwoven, you're mixing disciplines. But I always thought that was just a catchphrase. That was just something that they were throwing around and saying, oh, we'll teach you everything together. I didn't think it would actually be as applicable. I thought that they would be like, oh, it's interwoven because you're learning different subjects, not because you're changing how you learn each subject. So I think that's what really surprised me about the education the most, that when I would sit in a class, all of the professors would make very clear, explicit links to other subjects and would very consciously bring in different subject material, which is something I'd never had exposure to before or never anticipated. Part of the Krea journey for me was that initially when I came in, I thought my education was just restricted to academics and whatever I'm learning in class, right? I'm here to learn things, I'm here to learn from the professor, so all my learning is going to happen in a classroom. And what really hit me about Krea is the fact that my learning happens a lot more outside the classroom than inside. And it's not through any formal setup, but just through conversations with people, with anyone around me. The fact that there is so much diversity in thoughts, opinions, backgrounds, gender, identity, every kind of diversity that you can expect. It gave me a chance to talk to people who are very different from me. So I also began realizing how privileged I am, how small of a bubble I've come from, the kinds of spaces that I've been taught to think about and the kinds of spaces that I've been comfortable with is very different from how it is from other people. So I think the most important thing is that it gave me exposure to diversity, to variety, and that just cultivates a sense of empathy and a sense of just better sensitivity towards other people in the world, which is something I think everyone needs to build up. The CSO sent out a form initially gauging interest, and then another form saying, look, these are the internships that we're offering, and if you want any of them, just fill up the form and we'll get you in touch with those internship people. And it was as simple as that. I filled out a Google form saying, this is my interest, this is where I would like to work over the summer, and they got me in touch, and that was it. I got a great internship for 2 months that I really enjoyed. I haven't decided, but I do know I want to work in the environment space mostly. I care about climate change and other environmental issues. So I would definitely like to do something that way. I don't think it's research, maybe corporate, maybe policy. I'm not decided that way. I think be open is the biggest thing. Don't come in thinking you know what you want to do. Don't come in thinking you know the kind of person you are. Don't come in thinking this and only this is what I'm going to get from my university experience, because no matter how much you plan it, no matter how much you know about Krea before coming in, it's going to surprise you. It's always going to surprise you. You're always going to be hit with new different things that you didn't expect. So come in knowing that it's going to be uncertain, come in knowing that it's going to be uncomfortable, because you're learning a lot. Learning doesn't happen in a comfort zone. Learning happens outside of a comfort zone. So come in knowing that you have to learn a lot. Be open to that and take as much as you can from it. Don't restrict yourself from getting as much from the experience as it will give you.